I don't imagine Vitalik has a super high opinion of me.
Why is this fraud allowed to speak at this conference?
One of the biggest beefs in cryptocurrency, Charles Hoskinson and Vitalik Buterin.
There appears, to my outsider view, to have been a bit of a falling out.
This is one of the biggest feuds in crypto history.
There's so many cryptocurrencies at this point.
They're basically just very boring clones of, Bitcoin or Ethereum.
Will Ethereum 2.0 make Cardano obsolete? No. I think there's a lot of intellectual dishonesty there.
Two leaders with different ideologies, both with massive armies of religious followers. We've all heard of one side, Ethereum, and its frontman, Vitalik. But this story is about the underdog. Cardano fans are just as fierce, and they will fight faithfully for their leader, Charles Hoskinson. But hold on a minute, just who is Charles Hoskinson? Why does Cardano have such intense support? And does the ADA token live up to the hype? If you've heard all the Cardano and ADA buzz, but you weren't sure what people were talking about, or you didn't quite know what to make of it, then you're in the right place. Welcome to Cardano Explained.
I want to look at an Ethereum competitor here, which is called Cardano.
Cardano, the blockchain, and ADA, its native coin, are the current highlights of the crypto space.
So-called Ethereum killer, Cardano.
Can they both win? Can they both get part of the pie, or does somebody have to come out as the winner?
To really understand Cardano, we must explore its birth.
So the story is like Vitalik founded Bitcoin magazine and saw this like movement of Bitcoin 2.0. He had this idea of like a more generalized platform, but the Mastercoin team told him, no, this is too hard to do. They didn't want to do it. So Vitalik, that's where he decided he built this platform himself.
This is Camilla Russo, author of The Infinite Machine, where she uncovers Ethereum's founding.
So he wrote the white paper expecting to get really kind of shut down, but instead he got like a lot of enthusiasm and people who wanted to help him build this.
Let's do this.
So like the very early Ethereum kind of community started forming from there.
Vitalik Buterin is Ethereum's poster child, but he isn't actually the sole founder. There were 8 co-founders. And this guy here, he's Charles Hoskinson. Charles Hoskinson, he's like a PhD turned academic rock star. He runs a really big YouTube channel and even gets fan mail.
It's just incredible.
Legend has it, Vitalik wanted to make Ethereum a non-profit organization. But then Charles, he thought the project would be way more successful in the long run if they were for-profit, because then they would have more money to recruit better talent and they'd be able to leverage all the business connection. This feud split the co-founders, and Charles and his mate Jeremy, they went on to start IOHK, which is a crypto research and engineering firm. Their main project, you guessed it, Cardano. It was named after an Italian mathematician, Girolamo Cardano. They describe Cardano as the 3rd generation blockchain. They put it like this: Bitcoin is the 1st generation as digital gold. And then Ethereum, that's the 2nd generation, because Ethereum pioneered smart contracts. Now, Cardano claims to be the 3rd generation blockchain by being more future-proof and by solving the 3 major problems that all blockchains face, which I'll cover more in just a minute. It is important to understand that Cardano operates very differently, and it's part of what makes them unique. Most other crypto projects, they release their white paper, then they raise the big dollars, and then they implement it straight to code. Show me the money! Cardano uses an academic approach, and it works like this. Other experts from around the world read the blockchain research hypotheses, they prove them, and it's only once all the others agree that the Cardano team will then implement. And this sounds pretty good in theory, but if you ask me, it seems like a pretty flippin' slow way to move inside of this fast-moving crypto world.
It's been 84 years.
But it is allowing them to solve some of crypto's biggest problems of our time. So what are these problems? What was Cardano built to solve? I came across this tweet. Cardano is an open platform that seeks to provide economic identity to the billions who lack it by providing decentralized applications to manage identity, value, and governance. That didn't really clear it up. So let's revisit the 3 major problems that Cardano exists to fix: scalability, interoperability, and sustainability. So what does this crypto jargon actually mean? Let's start with the sexiest of crypto words, Ouroboros. Ouroboros is the key to addressing problem number 1, scalability. Ouroboros is the consensus mechanism of Cardano's blockchain. And a quick recap if you've forgotten. Consensus mechanisms is how the nodes, which is just a fancy way to say computers, in a decentralized network reach consensus, which again is just another way to say that they agree that all the data that they have is true. Every blockchain has a way to reach consensus, but they often use different mechanisms to actually get there. So, Ouroboros is a proof of stake mechanism. It works by dividing time into epochs. And inside of each epoch, there are slots. The network randomly elects a few nodes to be the slot leader. The slot leader listens out for new transactions, collects them and verifies them, and then puts them into a block. This is much more efficient than a process like proof of work, because it doesn't require every node to mine new blocks. Only the slot leaders mine the next block. This whole process makes Cardano scale well because as more users come on board, the slot leader can be working with multiple slots at once, and also the network can run multiple epochs in parallel to accommodate everybody. Problem number 2, interoperability. And that means blockchains working with each other and talking to each other. Charles believes there will be an internet of blockchains that will be fully interoperable. He's talking about a multi-chain future. What does that mean? Some people think that there's going to be one mega blockchain, a main one that we use for almost everything. This is a winner-take-all scenario. So like a lot of the Web 2 incumbents, aka Google, for example, the only real search engine that we have is Google, because Google just took the whole market. But many others think that that won't be the case, and that there will be lots of different blockchains, and that we will use different blockchains for different reasons. And that's part of the reason why you see so many altcoins. So it's basically Ethereum and its 2.0 upgrade on one side, and then all the other chains with interoperability on the other. Cardano aims to be an internet of blockchain, which means it can understand what is happening on all the other blockchains. And it can seamlessly move digital assets like tokens or NFTs across different chains. Let's look at the last problem, sustainability. And it's not referring to the environment like we might usually think of.
To a clean environment.
Because in crypto land, sustainability is usually economic. It's talking about the longevity of a project, making sure all the incentives align so that the system survives for the long haul. Cardano does this through a treasury. It takes a small slice of every transaction and then puts it into a special wallet not controlled by any single person. Any developer can submit a proposal with the improvements that they want to make to Cardano. Then the community votes, and the smart contract wallet releases the funds. This keeps Cardano economically sustainable because it incentivizes the developers to continually update the protocol and make it better. Let's look at Cardano's launch. The initial token distribution looked like this. ADA launched with a crowd sale and had 4 public token sales from September 2015 through till January 2017. 16.6% went to the founders and the project itself. 83.3% went to the investor community. Cardano followed a very similar model to Ethereum's initial token distribution. Lots of projects fizzle out after ICO, but Cardano does have one hell of a roadmap. It consists of 5 phases: Byron, Shelley, Gauguin, Basho, and Voltaire. So Byron happened way back in September 2017, and that was the main net launch. Shelley launched in July 2020, and that brought the Ouroboros proof of stake protocol to life. Now it's working on the last 3 phases in parallel. Gauguin is the smart contract support, Basho, which is scaling and operability, and then Voltaire, which is the on-chain governance and the treasury. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Cardano is very much a work in progress. Charles says that more than 100 companies are in the pipeline, looking to shift from Ethereum to Cardano when the functionality matures. But the naysayers think that that day may never come, or if it does, it'll just be too late. Cardano does have some pretty impressive partnerships so far. From governments to universities, they do seem to be pretty good at getting well-established organizations on board. But the real test for crypto tech is utility in the real world, meaning Like, what does it actually do? So let's look at some of Cardano's partnerships. New Balance. Soon, when you buy new shoes, you'll be able to digitally prove them to be authentic through the Cardano blockchain. Next is Dish Network, which is a telecommunications company. Cardano has basically partnered with them to help them digitize 8 million identities, putting them on the blockchain and making them more secure. Dish Network will also launch a blockchain-based loyalty program for its customers, just like an airline's reward program. Cardano's IOHK is working with the Ethiopian government to help them build a new digital payment system and identity card for the nation. It's yet to see how all of this will actually unfold. So what do we have here? Cardano is led by a charismatic founder and has an army of cult-like followers. Say what you will about that, but a die-hard following is the key to crypto success. You'll find more than enough opinions on YouTube about price, but the truth is, like all markets, we just don't know. I'll be keeping my eye out on Mr. Hoskinson and whether or not Cardano can live up to the hype as it rolls out. If you want to get involved, then I encourage you to check out sites like CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko to see which exchange you can buy it from. Then once you have some ADA, use wallets like Daedalus and Yoroi to hold it and stake it. But remember, always do your own research. Get out there and just start playing around and actually using Web3 and crypto, because that's where you'll learn the most. You'll gain far more actually using crypto than simply watching this video. That's all for this one. But what do you think of Cardano? Do you like it? Have you used it? Let me know in the comments below. Aside from that, we're all gonna make it.